Final Fantasy XVI is flying up sales charts after stellar State of Play show. Rumors emerged in late 2019 about Final Fantasy XVI due to reports that Creative Business Unit 3 had finished groundwork for a major new title. The game was officially announced in September 2020. The trailer used real-time footage instead of pre-rendered cutscenes to show the game was well into development and not too far from release. The second trailer, released in June 2022 and showcasing the Eikons and related gameplay and story scenes, was ready that March. Due to the invasion of Ukraine the previous month, the team decided to hold off releasing the trailer due to the game's portrayal of warring nations. Yoshida recorded a message to preface the trailer to separate it from world events. A third trailer, featuring more gameplay content and the release date, was published in December at the Game Awards 2022. It was confirmed to have gone gold at the end of March 2023. Final Fantasy XVI is set for a worldwide release on June 22, 2023. It was notably given high age ratings in major release region, Ciro's D rating, PEGI's 18 rating, and the ESRB's mature rating. It will be a timed exclusive for 6 months following its release. While a Windows version was rumored based on the timed exclusivity, Yoshida denied knowledge of such a port. The game had digital and physical deluxe and collector's editions available for sale through Square Enix's online store, featuring additional in-game items and accessories such as an art book and steel case with unique art. The English and Japanese voice cast was announced in December 2022. There was some brief online controversy around the game's perceived lack of ethnic diversity and the team's explanation for it. There was a similar response inspired by Yoshida's reluctance to classify the game under the JRPG moniker, as he was uncomfortable with negative associations historically attached to the term. Final Fantasy XVI has actually managed to top the PS5 bestsellers on Amazon US, overtaking the likes of Star Wars Jedi, Survivor, out in 2 weeks, and mainstream mega hit NBA 2K23. In the UK and other European regions, the action RPG hasn't quite claimed number 1, but it's moved up a bunch of places in an extremely short amount of time, and chances are it'll only climb higher from this point on. Final Fantasy XVI is an upcoming action role-playing game developed and published by Square Enix. The 16th main installment in the Final Fantasy series, it is scheduled for release on June 22, 2023 for the PlayStation 5 as a timed exclusive. The game will feature segmented open environments and an action-based combat system involving both melee and magic-based attacks. There are also recurring series features including chocobos and summoned monsters called Eikons, which are both fought as bosses and used through channeling their power in combat. Final Fantasy XVI is an action role-playing game in which players take control of protagonist Clive Rosefield and a rotating party of AI-controlled companions through segmented open areas across the continents of Valisthea. Combat revolves around a combination of melee and magic attacks, with Clive able to dodge. During the game, Clive ends up in battles with summoned monsters called Eikons, with their battles having dedicated mechanics. After defeating them, Clive gains access to powers and fighting techniques themed around them. Recurring Final Fantasy elements, such as the Galliform Chocobo and monster types, are included in the game world. The game has 2 separate modes, a story mode which offers accessories to simplify combat and strengthen the characters, and a normal mode which presents a greater challenge. There is also going to be a new Game Plus which allows players to carry over their statistics and equipment into a campaign with increased difficulty. Final Fantasy XVI is set on Valisthea, a world split between the 2 continents Ash and Storm, scattered with magical mother crystals, which provide ether energy to the population, though overuse causes magic users to petrify. In the backstory, a technologically advanced sky-based civilization once dominated the world. 1,500 years before, a great war caused the sky civilization to collapse, with remnants of it scattering across Valisthea. In the present, the Sky civilization is treated as a legend. The mother crystals become focuses for later civilization, with 6 nations controlling Valisthea by the game's events. A powerful force in Valisthea are the Eikons, magical creatures based on summoned monsters from the Final Fantasy series. The known Eikons, Phoenix, Shiva, Titan, Garuda, Leviathan, Bahamut, Odin and Rama, each represent one element and typically never fight each other. A seemingly impossible second icon of fire, Ifrit, drives the main plot by disrupting this balance. The core nations of Valisthea are the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, the Holy Empire of Sambrek, and the Dalmatian Republic on the Storm Continent, the Kingdom of Waylode which dominates the Ash Continent, and the neutral crystalline dominion sitting between Ash and Storm. An outlier is the Iron Kingdom, an isolated nation off the coast of Storm overseen by the Crystalline Orthodox, which speaks its own language. By the game's events, Valisthea is suffering from a depletion of ether dubbed the Blight, driving the nations into conflict with each other. A key part of the nation's politics and military are dominants, humans who can use magic without crystals and manifest icons, though they are more at risk from petrification. Depending on where they are born, dominants are hailed as political leaders, tolerated due to their power, or suffer abuse and are either killed or used as weapons of war. The game's protagonist is Clive Rosefield, firstborn son of Rosaria's ruling family who is passed over as successor when his younger brother Joshua becomes the dominant of Phoenix. While not a dominant, Clive can acquire and wield the power of multiple icons in combat. A childhood friend and future companion is Jill Warwick, the eventual dominant of Shiva who spends much of her life as a political hostage. During his travels, Clive is joined by his dog Torgal, and Sadolphus Telamon, the dominant of Rama who seeks to establish a nation to shelter victimized magic users, and an incarnation of a recurring Final Fantasy character. Other prominent characters include Barnabas Tharmer, King of Waylode and dominant of Odin, Benedicta Harmon, a Waylode spy and dominant of Garuda, Hugo Kupka, dominant of Titan and key political figure in the Dalmatian Republic, and Dion Lesage, Crown Prince of Sambrek and the dominant of Bahamut.